Welcome to the Around the North Sports Show. I'm your host, Jay Houselander, with my co-host, Tony Bonifero and Michael Hapanovich. How are you guys today?
Doing pretty good, Jay.
Awesome, man. Lots to talk about today.
Yeah, first and foremost, Sioux Thunderbirds played against Timmins in Game 6, lost 4-2, so their repeat for back-to-back championships are done. They lost against Timmins in the Game 6. High school soccer, we just received the results, so we're not going to be able to post those. We'll be able to post them, later today, but not mention them today. NASA Badminton, Camden O'Neill with St. Mary's got a gold. Junior doubles ended up with a gold. Daniel Guzzo with a bronze, and the junior division first overall. Other than that, Cora's Ella Hayes and Dylan Garson are committed to Algoma for cross country. So a couple more kids from the Sioux committed to high school sports. So it's
Algoma U and Sioux College have got their fair amount of kids this year. They've
Exactly.
added a lot of kids. Yeah.
Yeah, and congrats to the Thunderbirds. I know they fell a little bit short here, but you know what Coach Henderson and Jared are doing there. You know, they're definitely on the right path, and they had a great season. Timmins was an unreal team this year, and congratulations goes out to Timmins, obviously, for the big win. But there's no doubt Thunderbirds will be back. With who they have. So
exactly. And just to touch base, another two U18 players went in the U18 OHL draft. Maverick Fletcher to Sudbury, and not to Sudbury, from Sudbury he went to Erie, and Jacob Smith went to the Ottawa 67s.
Yeah, congratulations to both players. We've seen Jacob Smith play a little bit, and he's another one of those kids, man. He worked his butt off. He deserved to be drafted. He was one of the better players out there this year from the U18s, and he really stood out. So congratulations to Jake, and hopefully he can, make some noise next year in Ottawa.
And we're talking about Ottawa 67s. Tony and Mike, I don't know if you know, Jack Mateer got called up to Milwaukee Admirals Nationals farm team. So another Sioux going to the pros.
Good for him, yeah.
Yeah, no surprise there. He deserved it. Good for him. Props to Jack. We've interviewed him a couple times, I think, on the show, and despite his father, he was still able to make it, right, Mark? So, congratulations.
We have a story there that we'll probably talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Mike might not know, but the other thing I'd like to just touch base on is congrats to all the 3-on-3 winners, right from the ages of 5 years old right up to men's and women's open. So it's a nice weekend. They raised money for charity, so that's really nice. And one of the last local things, John Dean and Andrew Gibson at the U18s from the Greyhounds won a bronze. I don't know if either one of you saw the game at all, but
yeah, I watched quite a bit of it. They, congratulations to them. Great job. One thing though, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go on a mini rant here about the 3-on-3. I mean, listen, congratulations to the winners. Congratulations to the teams that won. But, you look at some of these teams that were put together and guys, these are kids. You're talking about, kids that are like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and these parents are literally creating super teams, just putting all the studs together and then, just blowing teams out under the water. And it's like,
it's terrible.
Come on, guys. It's like, no
fun.
Yeah, it's really not, good for you. You smashed a bunch of kids with, who weren't at the same caliber, but it's just crazy, right? These little, that you see super teams being built at a 3-on-3 level. It just doesn't make sense to me.
21st century sports.
Man, it's Sioux hockey, dude. It's ludicrous.
And one thing, Michael, we'll touch base with you again. We talked about last week, but you guys are headed away this weekend for the U18 Blackstock. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so this weekend we played the Pickford Panthers this Saturday. We have a doubleheader starting at noon. I'm actually looking forward to this series a lot because last year we lost a game to Pickford, and they are without a doubt one of the worst teams in their league. They haven't won a game this year, and the kids on their team last year, quite frankly, didn't know how to behave properly. So, you know what, going into there this weekend, I really hope that we can take both games, and I just don't want Pickford to win at all because their kids don't deserve it. Coaches are fine because I've had problems with the past coaches, but it's just the players. I can't stand them.
And Bono, I know before the show you're talking about Michael's crown. This week I'll give it to Michael. He can tell us his accomplishment in practice this week.
Yeah, so I went to practice yesterday with me and my dad, and we went at Elliott Field. I hit a 300-foot bomb over center field. First home run ever, even though it was in practice. It was a hard line drive right over the fence.
Well, I'll say this weekend, if I were betting this weekend, I would take Pickford now to beat you guys since you're so great at picking losers all the time. So if you're picking you guys to win, obviously Pickford's taking it to you guys. So
You know, maybe they improved this year. Maybe the kids got a bit more mature. But I'll tell you, based off last year, they didn't know how to behave at
Yeah.
all. But we'll see.
So and that wraps up for the local sports, and now we're going to get into Michael and Bono.
One last thing though about local sports quickly. Ty Cartier, and this is kind of
My apologies.
this is kind of something that we wanted to talk about. Let's keep in mind, right? Ty Cartier was an undrafted free agent signing, right? Like
Yeah.
nobody wanted this kid, and now he's coming out. He was Rookie of the Year in the AHL.
Scored for your favorite team, eh, Tony?
Yeah, I know. Scored. Took it to them. Got an assist the next day. He texted his mom 9.5 hours before his NHL debut, and he just said playing, I guess, right?
They rushed to Toronto.
And then they rushed to Toronto. They were 1,600 miles away.
Was that in Seattle or Colorado?
It was in Denver, so it was in Colorado, and they actually got there 3 minutes into the game, just in time to watch Ty's first goal. So kind of a cool story. And actually, the coolest part about that was, did you see Cartier's dad after they showed him?
Hat?
He was wearing the Sioux Greyhounds hat, which was kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
So
No,
props to Ty Cartier. But sorry, just one last thing. Like, that's a kid, had an okay couple years in the OHL, missed a year due to COVID. And he didn't give up. He kept getting better every single season. This kid didn't get drafted into the show, and he didn't give up, and he actually got significantly better, worked himself into a contract, and now he's literally the talk of Seattle. He is loved in Seattle. He's talked about all throughout the NHL network, NHL radio. They're talking about this kid. So props to him. If you're
on the power play.
on the power play, he's playing all situations. The coaches love him. And I just mentioned that because, if you're a kid that doesn't get drafted, if you're kind of down and out, not knowing what's going to happen, use a guy like this as motivation, because look what he did. Unbelievable job. So congratulations to Ty.
Your first game to play the last year's Stanley Cup champions. So for him, must have been a huge
Crazy.
feeling.
Yeah.